All right, welcome. Today, we are diving into a part of buying a home that, let's be honest, can feel a little mysterious, but it is absolutely crucial for protecting your biggest investment. We're talking about the home appraisal.
So picture this. You've done it. You've seen house after house, and you've finally found the one. Your offer is in, and it's been accepted. But here's the real question, isn't it? What is that home objectively truly worth? Okay, let's get right into it. A lot of people see the appraisal as just another hurdle, another box to check. But I want you to think of it differently. It's really your financial safety net. It's a whole process designed to protect you.
So, what is it exactly? Well, a home appraisal is basically an unbiased professional opinion on what a property is worth. And this isn't just some wild guess. It's a super detailed assessment done by a licensed pro whose entire job is to come up with an objective number based on cold, hard facts.
And there's a reason it's mandatory, and it actually helps two different parties. First, for your lender, it's all about managing their risk. They're not going to lend you $500,000 for a house that's only worth $400,000. Makes sense, right? But for you, and this is the most important part, it's your ultimate protection against overpaying and making a bad investment right out of the gate.
So, what does this appraiser person actually do? How do they come up with that magic number? Well, let's pull back the curtain on their investigation and see how they uncover a home's true value.
The whole thing is actually way more structured than you might think. It really boils down to three main steps. First, they do an on-site inspection. They walk through the property. Then, they take all that info and do a ton of off-site research. And finally, they combine everything to create the final valuation report.
So when they're on site, what are they really looking for? Well, they're not judging your decor, I can promise you that. They're focused on the facts. The square footage, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, the condition of the big stuff like your plumbing and electrical. They're paying really close attention to permanent, value-adding features. Think a brand new roof or a killer kitchen remodel. And they're also keeping an eye out for red flags, like any signs of water damage.
At the end of the day, their goal is to figure out the highest and best use of that property. Now that's a bit of a technical term, but all it really means is they're confirming that this home is a solid, sound investment for that specific neighborhood and that type of house.
All right, so you might be wondering, is there anything I can actually do to help make this go smoothly? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And it's probably simpler than you'd think.
A little bit of prep work can go a long, long way. Taking care of small things like fixing a leaky faucet or touching up some paint can really make a difference. And this part is huge. Get all the paperwork together for any major upgrades. If there's a new furnace that was put in a couple years ago, have the receipt ready. It provides solid proof of the money that's been invested in the house. And hey, while an appraiser is trained to see past a bit of clutter, a clean, tidy home just gives off a much better vibe. It just screams pride of ownership, and it suggests that the home has been really well cared for, which can only help things.
Okay, so after all the inspecting and the researching, it finally arrives, the final powerful number. This is where the whole thing pays off, and believe it or not, this is where you can gain a serious advantage.
But let's ask the one question that keeps every home buyer up at night. What in the world happens if that number comes in lower than the price you agreed to pay? Is the deal totally dead?
This exact situation has a name. It's called an appraisal gap. And what it means is that your lender will only approve a loan for that lower appraised value. So for example, if you offered, say, $400,000, but the house only appraises for $380,000, the bank is only going to lend you that $380,000.
And this is the beautiful part. A low appraisal is not a failure. It's leverage. You now have an independent, professional report that says the asking price is too high. That gives you some serious power to go back and renegotiate with the seller. And on the flip side, what if the appraisal comes in higher than your offer? Well, congratulations, you just walked into your brand new home with instant equity. It's a win-win.
So from now on, when you think about the appraisal, don't think of it as some annoying roadblock. I want you to think of it as a guardian angel for your finances, standing right between you and what could be a really bad deal.
So just remember, this whole appraisal process, it's not just some box you have to check for the bank. It's the one thing that delivers objective value, that protects your finances, and that ultimately gives you the peace of mind that you're making a smart, secure investment for your future.